Hello, Internet, and welcome to my road trip FAQ. I have been asked over the last couple of days a couple of questions about how to do road tripping, or at least how we do road tripping when we're in the United States, so figured I'd answer 5 or 6 questions about it. Haven't prepared any slides or anything, so you will have to stare at my ugly mug through the entire thing, but I hope it will be acceptable to all of you. So let's get going. When you're on a road trip, what is the best hotels to use? Well, there are plenty of hotels and motels along the way, but if you want cheap, clean, and decent internet, I still say that the best chain out there, at least right now, is probably the Quality Inn chain. There are plenty of others, and it depends on your personal preferences, but in the last couple of trips, our best experiences have by far been with Quality Inn. Clean rooms, decent rates, good internet. Breakfast sucks, but it does that on all American hotels, so you have to live with it in one way or another. How to see new stuff. And by that, I think the questioner meant that in my various travel videos, I have mentioned seeing stuff that perhaps other people don't necessarily get to all the time. My advice is to sometimes just take days where you try to get lost. Even if you're not working from a base, even if you're going from one place to another, just turn off your GPS for a few hours, take whatever roads take your fancy and go out there, or just put your finger down on a map in your general area and drive that direction. America is a huge country with a lot of very interesting stuff to see, and you will almost always find something. So yeah, go out there and get lost, it'll help. General highway advice. Well, use the highway systems if you want to get somewhere fast. Don't use the highways if you want to see stuff. Again, my point about getting lost. However, one piece of advice, when on highways it starts saying toll roads, considering getting off, or considering, this is particularly from our European friends, considering getting off, or at least be aware of what's going on, because currently the American toll road system is moving, or at least seemingly moving away from the old system where you threw a bunch of quarters in a big container and you could go through the toll booth. Now it's almost all a kind of a payment card, but not a credit card, but some payment system, and they're not at all united across the various states. So if you see several states on one trip, you will need an easy pass somewhere, you'll need a sunshine pass somewhere else, blah 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 blah, and it's all very confusing. You can usually go through and just have them take a picture of your number plate and send the bill to that. But if you're renting a car, which I suppose at least many Europeans would be, the car rental system will also take a rather sizable fee for paying these bills. At one point, we had to pay a toll fee of around, I think, $1, and it cost us 10 just to pay the car rental service for doing it for us. So be aware of that situation, at least if you're going anywhere. Navigation. GPS works. GPS works very well. However, bring a map. If you go on the highway and crosses into a state, there will always, or almost always at least, be a welcome center. Go in there, get a couple of maps over the state or the immediate area, because there are some places, especially out in the countryside, that the GPS simply won't catch, at least not catch to the degree you might want it to. So yeah, bring a map, learn to read it. Also a great place to see stuff that you wouldn't otherwise see, because then there's suddenly a meteor crater. Ooh, that will be fun to go see, and you would never see that on a GPS. How to not lose focus when going on the very long highway trips. Well, yeah, that's it wasn't so much a question, that was just a piece of advice, but I second that a lot. It's very, very easy, especially out west where the roads hardly even bend. You just go 200 miles straight out, no turn, no nothing. So I suggest inventing a game just to keep you from falling asleep behind the wheels. It's always easier if there's two people, so you can trade driving shift, of course. Me and my dad count trucks from various shipping companies. I mean, it's not that we sit staring at everything else trying to find a truck, but shipping companies like Swift or Snyder or Werner, we just, oh, there's a truck, and do a mental count, or the person not driving do a physical count, and then at the end of the day we see who we have most of. It's not a big thing, but it's just enough to basically keep you going on the highway where such trucks are coming at regular occurrences. Supplies. How to maintain supplies on road trip, especially during warmth in the West. Well, buy an icebox. You can get an icebox practically anywhere. We usually buy one in a Walmart in our very first day, fairly cheap, and with the small prices on ice cubes, or you can get almost anywhere. You can keep water and food and anything else cool and pleasant in the car during a 8 to 10 hour stint without any real problems. So yeah, basically icebox, and of course you can buy stuff anywhere. And finally, how to get rid of the road trip smell in the car after a long trip. And for that, I'm going to have to say, sorry, that's inevitable. You're on your own. I can't help you with that. Well, that was just a few questions that I had been sent that I felt like I would answer real quickly. Until next time, I have been the Sage, and I wish to see you all on the American roads very, very soon.